Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. I want to, first of all, thank President Sean McGarvey, Secretary-Treasurer Brent Booker, all the international presidents up here today, all the state and regional councils, all the officers and officials from all the unions across the United States and Canada, to every single sister and brother member here, thank you and good morning. I also want to give a shout out to local, I better jump on this, Unite Local 25, who clean our rooms, empty our barrels, change our beds. They were here earlier today. I want to thank them as well. All the staff in this hotel. They were hit hard during the pandemic. And, quite honestly, coming in here today, it feels good to be home. As many of you know, I grew up, as Sean mentioned, I grew up in the building trades, quite literally. Labor's Local 223 in Boston is where it started for me. My cousin Marty's here, my cousin Patrick's here. I think Robert's here and Patrick's here and a few family members in the room today. I want to thank them. My earliest memories that I remember is at my kitchen table where I grew up with my father John and my uncle Pat talking about labor issues, the laborers union issues. Who needs a job? Whose family needs help? Who needs health care and pension benefits? How do we get people back to work and how do we continue to fight for jobs? That's what I heard at my kitchen table almost every single Sunday when my Uncle Pat and my Aunt Nappy would come over. That's what the union was, and that's what the union is. And that's why all of you are here today as well. It's an extension of that kitchen table and others like it across America and beyond. That's where you talk about how to get hardworking people into good jobs, how to help their families get through hard times, how to get working people a fair shake. You bring the kitchen table to Washington, and it's why I have always come here as well. I spoke at this very conference when I was the head of the Greater Boston Building Trades. We talked about, Sean asked me to come, I talked about pre-apprenticeship programs like Building Pathways that help more people from more communities to be able to join a union and join the middle class. And we were able to get results done thanks to the building trades from Boston and Massachusetts that are here too. I want to give them a shout out. I spoke at this conference as mayor of Boston. We've proven that when government works with unions, the economy grows, the middle class grows, and that's what's good for business, and we got results. And now I'm speaking to you as the United States Labor Secretary in the Biden-Harris administration. And we are working once again as partners to rebuild the middle class. And we're getting results. I couldn't be more proud or grateful for my journey with you. The building trades have always been there for me. And today we are helping more workers achieve the American dream than ever before. President Biden pledged when he was a candidate and when he got elected president to build an economy from the bottom up and middle out with good union jobs. And that's what he's been doing. 7.9 million jobs have been added to the economy since the president took office. Last year alone was the greatest year of job growth in the history of the United States of America. The unemployment rate is down to 3.6%, and fewer workers are collecting unemployment benefits than any other time in half a century. The president put workers first and reached across the aisle. He passed the American Rescue Plan to get our economy moving. He secured a historic infrastructure investment bill that's going to create jobs for years to come. And one of the first things the president did was to make sure the American Rescue Plan included a piece called the Butch Lewis Act. That's a blooper for later. The Butch Lewis Act, many of you know what it is. I want to tell you a quick story. President Biden was running for president of the United States of America. And he was at a bunch of meetings across the country, and people would talk to him about, I want you to put something there for infrastructure. I'm going to work on that. I want you to do something on healthcare. I'm going to work on that. And one guy, I'm not sure where it was, you were probably in this room, or maybe a woman in this room, said to the president at one point, you got to take care of pensions. We have a problem in our country with multi-employer pension plans. And there was no grand announcement about it. There was no press conference about it. And when the American Rescue Plan was being put together, the president remembered, he said, wait a second, we got to put something in there to make sure that we rescue over 200 multi-employer pension plans that were underfunded and at the risk of going broke. Some of those benefits already started cutting, some of those plans already started cutting benefits. For 20 years, for 20 years, you stood with retirees and widows and elected officials to fight for these pensions. And in a matter of weeks, President Biden answered the call. As Labor Secretary, I'm making sure union members in their families get all the benefits that they bargained for and that they earned. And I want to thank NAB2's coordinating committee on this issue for your partnership, because Sean and his team has been a big part of this. We're taking care of those who came before us. We stand on their shoulders. We have to take care of them. We are building a better economy for those who are working today and tomorrow. Earlier this year, the president signed an executive order on project labor agreements. The order will make sure big federal construction projects are governed by project labor agreements. And in this room, we know from experiences that PLAs are powerful tools. I've negotiated PLAs when I was the head of the building trades in Boston. When I was mayor of the city of Boston, I saw the same PLAs bring opportunity, equity, and resiliency to our city. They protect taxpayers' investments. They ensure safety on the jobs. They guarantee quality jobs. They also make sure there's skilled workers, skilled union workers on those projects. And in cities all across this country, PLA supports access to careers for women, workers of color, our veterans, and people who need second chances. We're also fighting for fair wages and good jobs all across America. That includes prevailing wage on federal construction projects and public works. Last month, the Department of Labor formally proposed a new set of Davis-Bacon rules, the most comprehensive review of Davis-Bacon in over 40 years. Our proposal will update wage levels for more workers on more kinds of jobs than ever before, including clean energy infrastructure. That's good for communities and good for our future. And I don't have to tell anyone in this room, modernizing Davis-Bacon helps make sure that the hard-earned wages of skilled workers, your members, can't be undercut. The race to the bottom of the American economy is over. Instead of pulling the middle class down, we are lifting the workers up. That means getting more workers to access that they can join a union and get their membership and have union quality job training that you provide. That's why this administration is doubling down on registered apprenticeships. It's a model created by the building trades, and it's the gold standard in job training in this country. I want to thank all of you for the great apprentice programs you run. I want to thank all the training directors that are in this room today. I've had the opportunity over the last year to go all over the country, and I've seen all these programs up close and personal. And that's why we're expanding the model to other industries to address some of our biggest workforce challenges. Investing in apprenticeships is how we get employers the skilled labor that they need. It's how we get more people opportunities in rural America, and veterans and people of color and women better opportunities. It's how we grow and diversify union membership. I want to thank President McGarvey and NAB2 for your leadership in this work. Registered apprenticeship is also key to part of this administration's plan to strengthen the supply chain and lower the costs that our members and working families all across America are facing right now. In December, the White House and the Department of Labor and the Department of Transportation sat down with the trucking industry and the Teamsters. We launched the 90-Day Apprentice Challenge. The 90 days recently ended, and in that time, over 100 new trucking apprentice programs have been launched in America. We're getting goods to the markets faster. We're making truck driving what it is, and people know that, a good middle-class job that it's always been, and we're going to make sure people have opportunities to get into that career. And I want to thank all of you, and I want to thank the Teamsters in particular for your part of this. This president is not about talking. This president is about taking action. It's the type of bold action that we're taking in this administration. You heard it yesterday from Secretary Raimondo. You heard it from the cabinet all across. By the way, isn't it nice to have cabinet members back at the building trades here again talking to you? And it's nice to have a president coming here that believes in what you believe in, talking to you. The opportunity in front of us right now is truly historic, and the possibilities for partnerships are unlimited. The president's bipartisan infrastructure law has begun to invest billions of dollars in communities all across the United States. I get an opportunity to serve on the implementation task force. Myself and my fellow cabinet members are working every day to make sure these investments create good union jobs. In the Department of Labor, we launched the Good Jobs Initiative. We're working with agencies across government to make sure that federal grants and contracts support good jobs. Not just in some places, but in every part of our country. That means prevailing wage and good benefits. That means project labor agreements and local hiring. It means lowering the cost of working families face, like childcare, prescription drugs, and education. And this all is what the president proposed. And it means training programs to get more people access to union skills and union careers. This administration is not, by the way, not afraid to say the word union, organized labor. We've already signed an agreement with Department of Transportation on a $1.5 billion of new infrastructure grants. Grant applications that were required to address PLAs and diverse local hiring in order to be considered. So that means that neighborhoods that money's being invested in have opportunities to work on those jobs. The Commerce Department, I think Secretary Raimondo probably talked about it yesterday, is taking a very similar approach to the $50 billion investment in universal internet broadband. We're working with Congress to include the same strong labor standards as we invest in the domestic manufacturing. The Bipartisan Innovation Act would create a $52 billion fund for the production of microchips here in the United States of America, where we invented them. Both the House and the Senate includes in the bill prevailing wage requirements and making for all the requirements of all the new factories that we built in our country. And the House version also includes the National Apprenticeship Act. Reauthorizing this historic law will allow us the opportunity to expand registered apprenticeships. It would also create new career opportunities for millions of Americans as we further strengthen our supply chain. This may not be the kind of legislation that make the headlines. It probably won't make the headlines. But I'll tell you right now, this is the work that matters. This is the work that creates not just a job, but middle-class families. I've seen the difference. You've seen the difference when work doesn't get done. That's why the President Biden is the best possible president we could have at this moment in history. So I urge you, when you leave here and you go back to the union halls all across America, to continue to educate your members about the importance of good leadership in government. Leadership that understands the history and the value of organized labor, of the building trades, of unions. Leadership that is focused on the issues that impact working people and themselves when they look in the mirror. Leadership that is committed to working with you. Given the tide of misinformation in today's world, the most important than ever that we reach out and speak up and share the facts of what's really happening. This administration has made historic progress in the last 15 months. But this is no time to get complacent. There's too much at stake here and at home and around the world. There's too much work that we still have to do. After decades, and I've sat in this room for over 30 years at these conventions, and I've heard people stand at this podium and say what they need to do for you and what they need to do for us. And they walk out and all of a sudden the bill didn't pass for whatever reason, or the thing didn't happen for a reason. That's not happening today. Because this president understands that after decades of assaults on the unions, outsourcing jobs and undercutting workers, flat wages and a shrinking middle class, we are turning the tide of history. We're putting power back in the hands of working people. We're raising wages, protecting workers' rights. We're creating good union jobs in every corner of this country. We are seizing this opportunity. Brothers and sisters, I want you to think about this for a minute. We have the most pro-worker, pro-labor United States president in our lifetimes, and you have a United States Labor Secretary who carries a union book in his pocket. And that union book made mine and my family's life possible. It allowed my immigrant parents and uncles and aunts and families to work hard to join the middle class. It allowed me to get treatment when I was a kid for cancer and alcoholism as an adult. It allowed me to believe I could run for office and make a difference. So everywhere I go around the country, I visit union halls. I go there because wherever you are in America, that's where people are creating opportunity and fighting to get people into the middle class. I go to union halls because that's where my family is. I might not know anyone that local before I get there. The members and apprentices might not be like me, but when I get there, I know I'm home. I'm back at that kitchen table with people who work hard and work outside no matter what the weather is. People who care about their community. People who want to help others to get the same opportunities that they did. I want to thank you, brothers and sisters, for allowing me the opportunity to come here today. This is such an honor for me to be standing here today in front of you as the Secretary of Labor, a proud building trades member, a proud member of Local 223 in Boston, Massachusetts. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless the building trades, and God bless America.